Welcome back to Wheels and Wings YouTube channel. Today we're going to be racing at Road America, doing some NASCAR racing in the Fastell Ford Mustang, which is in real life Chris Buescher, but in this case I'm driving it. My favorite driver is Chase Elliott, but I decided not to race as him in this race in particular, just to mix it up a little bit. And he drives a Chevy, and I like Ford Mustangs better. So we're going to get started here. And yeah, hopefully my commentating is good. Here we go. So here we are. I think there's 43 cars. Revving engine's about ready to go. And we're off. So we're right next to Austin Cindric here. Yeah, like I said, 43 cars. 10 lap race. I know it doesn't say the laps up in the top left, but it's a 10 lap race. So no pit stops, no fuel needed. So we're off, and immediately, side-by-side racing, we pass Austin Cindric. We are right next to Bubba Wallace here in that Dr. Pepper car. Now alongside Christopher Bell, we race alongside him through the corner. We got two Ty Gibbs up here. Don't know what happened with the spawning on that, but we got some duplicates here. Alongside one here, we're almost clear. Alongside, he's pulling ahead of us, but I think he's ahead of us now. Down into this really tight first gear corner, you gotta be super careful, especially in this first lap, not to spin the tires. Christopher Bell alongside us again. Closing in on Ty Gibbs as Christopher Bell actually lunges up the inside and passes me. And now he's alongside Ty Gibbs. I get back to his right rear here, show him the nose, going down into this corner, and I brake a little later than him, but he fights back on the inside, and finally clear him, I think, through here. Oh, and then he's back alongside. But I pass him again. Open her up, down this straightaway, closing in on Ty Gibbs again, finally. Careful with this corner, it can be really easy to swing out into that outside wall. Got some cinematic camera here, as you can see. I believe that's Bubba Wallace who got off the track there. Closing on Ty Gibbs, and I forget who's in the number 15. I think it's Justin Haley, if I remember correctly, or something like that. Anyway, still really struggling to catch up to these guys. Was having a lot of trouble with grip on these opening laps. The car's really wanting to spin out. So that was a problem. Anyway, we're to the bumper of the 15. We're gonna pull alongside, try to pass him down, going down the straightaway. Alongside now, quarter panel, and we're drag racing down the straightaway here. Ty Gibbs is getting closer. I brake as late as I dare. I pass both of them, but Ty Gibbs fights back to my left rear. And down the straightaway a little bit. Almost cutting him off. Luckily I didn't. I'm almost clear, but I just can't quite get there. Finally through this corner I do. And I think after that he never really did have any problems, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so now we got the other Ty Gibbs to run down and pass. So that's kind of funny. I'm not really sure what Stato Corsa was thinking when it came to that, but I get right to his bumper through this corner, braking as late as I dare. He goes a little wide. I'm right there. Pull alongside him. I've got the preferred line through this corner. Almost there. Maybe get him on the exit. I get a better run out and I clear him. Alright, now we've got to look at the number 10 of Eric Almirola. We gotta go run down him. And then we got Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. As I said, this is an outdated version of the NASCAR Cup Series, so there's drivers in here that have already retired in real life. One of those being Martin Truex Jr. We get right to the back bumper of Eric Almirola through this corner, and we slide onto the 10, right to the bumper of the 11. Almost some contact, but we pass him. We get 2 in one corner. Now we're looking at Truex here, number 19, Bass Pro Shops Toyota Camry. Um, down the straightaway, over 150 miles an hour. Fourth gear, 160 miles an hour. Slowing down, first gear corner, right to his back bumper. And we can see up in front of us that there's a huge gap between him and I believe that's the 22 of Joey Logano. So through here, at this point I was getting slightly frustrated with this because he just kind of kept blocking me, which I guess is good on his part, but finally we get alongside. And I get a little bit of better run out of the corner and we clear him going down the straightaway. So at this point there's a huge gap between me and Joey Logano. But unfortunately, I believe through this corner up here, Truex fights back. You can see he gets alongside there and he takes the inside from me. But I was able to cover it off and block him. And he swings way to the outside. Right on my bumper, all over my bumper. He's all over the place. Coming around the outside, alongside. Just couldn't quite get it done in that corner. The Sargento truck up on the bridge over there. Always thought that was a super cool advertising board. Down into this corner, hard braking zone. You gotta be super careful not to lock up the brakes. I think later in this race I do lock up the brakes, leading to me laying the bumper to the car in front of me. But we'll get to that later. So at this point, I think Martin Truex Jr. was permanently behind me, and we skip ahead to when I caught up to Joey Logano. So we can see the screen fades. And here we are, back to another duplicate of Martin Truex Jr. That's not the guy that I passed before, but it's a duplicate AI. I don't know why it did that. Should have had other cars to spawn. You can see I'm kind of screwing around with the menu to see if I can get better information displays up for you. Finally passed Joey Logano, a little bit on the grass there, but not out of track limits. So we clear him. And so now, there's a huge gap between me and first and second. So I believe right here, yeah, we skip ahead to when I finally caught up to second place here. Todd Gilliland, I believe, rookie Ford Mustang in the, I'm not sure what sponsor that is. But you can see I lay the back bumper to him here. That was bad on my part, but sometimes I just couldn't, can't quite get the brake pedal pressed down hard enough to stop that. You gotta do what you gotta do. You can see now I have in the top left we have my lap times. You can see my last lap has been my best lap run. Watch that towards the end when I finally clear these guys. It gets a lot better. So we're right to the back bumper of this guy, pull to the outside, we make a move, we're drag racing down the straightaway. I get a good run, but I just can't quite clear him. But then I brake super late into this corner. About all the car could handle, and I finally clear him. Now, I would have been clear if it weren't for my mistake that I make up here, which you guys will see. Now we're closing in on, I'm not sure what driver this is up here. Again, I don't think he's in the Cup Series anymore, so I'm not familiar with his name. But he's racing a NASCAR Ignition, which is another NASCAR video game paint scheme. So you can see through this corner, I just wasn't quite paying attention. The brakes lock up. I'm not really sure what happened there. I hit the brake pedal and nothing really happened. So I lose that spot and I put a bit of a dent in my front end, but everything's alright. I'm already closing back in on the 38 of Todd Gilliland. Through this corner, I got a little out into the grass there. Those corners, it's not a full braking zone. You kind of just gotta judge your speed, so it can be kind of hard. Still trying to fight back to the 38, but he was just kind of pulling me here. Through this corner, I'm always really good. I think I just can manage the throttle better than the AI can, and really get the most out of the car. Full throttle opening. We're closing on his bumper again. Through this corner, I gained a lot of ground. The gap's closing. He's probably pretty concerned right now because I'm filling up his rearview mirror. through this corner, almost ran into the back of him, but not quite. I spin the car. You can see I got loose there, and he pulls away again. So I would be passing this guy pretty quick, but unfortunately, I keep choking it all the way. So, fly back again through this corner, close back in on his rear bumper, get a really good run out of this corner. So I'm really closing the gap. And so we drag race down the straightaway. Alongside, there's start and finish on lap 8, so we've got 2 to go. You can see that was a better lap than last time. It's almost a second, 2 seconds faster. So, he fights back again, he pulls ahead of me. This guy's pretty fast, I think he's got good pace in his car. Meanwhile, first place is just pulling away, so I'm thinking, I need to pass this guy now and get caught up to him, because I only got 2 laps to do this. Finally clear the 38, and so now I put all my focus on the car in front of me. So I gotta catch up to him, I gotta pass him before I run out of time. So I think it took me a little bit to get caught up, but I do really well into this corner braking. Well, if my brakes work. As you saw earlier, they did not work. And I crashed into this guy's bumper, so he's probably not that happy with me right now. So hopefully he doesn't do anything to get me back for doing that to him. You can see even after 10 laps, there's like really worn grooves of rubber through this track. You can see the black spots where people locked up their tires or spun the tires or something like that. So I'm getting closer and closer to the number 78. I really get close to him through this corner, like closing ground. And also, I guess now's a good time to mention, if you guys would like to see a whole NASCAR series starting in Daytona and going through multiple NASCAR tracks, including this one, and it being an actual championship series where I have to fight with points for the AI, then let me know. Obviously, don't think that just because I'm doing well in this race, I do well in every race. I'm not perfect. But here we go alongside the 78. He pulls away again. Got a better run off that corner. I kind of had the car locked down. It's a little tight right now. Tight in areas where I need it to be loose, and loose in areas where I need it to be tight. So it's really not happy with the car right now. But you'll see as through this next lap or two, it finally starts to kind of open up, and I can really pick up my speed a lot. So here we go, alongside the 78, drag racing down the straightaway. 1 to go as I just barely clear him. And so now I got clean air. I got 1 to go, or wait, yeah, 1 to go, I think. No, 2 to go. Sorry, I'm confused. Anyway, he tries to do something through that corner, but he just can't quite get there. Down through this corner, I'm finally out in the lead. We've got 3 Ford Mustangs leading this race. You'll love to see it. So down this straightaway, I'm full out in front of him now. Got some more Sargento semi-truck advertising. Very Wisconsin thing, because Road America is in Wisconsin, for those of you who didn't know. Elkhart Lake, I believe, is where it is. It's one of my favorite tracks. I really like this road course, especially because I live in the Midwest as well, so it's the closest to me. Anyway, so we're finally out in front, and now I'm thinking to myself, okay, so can I break my lap record? My best lap here is 2:20, as you can see in the top left, and my last lap was 2:21. So now we skip ahead to the final lap. So we're on the final lap now. You saw the screen faded. So now on the final lap, you can see I did a little bit better on that last lap by a thousandth of a second. So now my new record to beat is 2:20.079. So can I do it? You can see I have no pressure from the guys behind me. They're probably, well, I don't know how many car lengths, but a lot of car lengths behind me. So they're not really in contention to pass me. All I needed to do is just keep it together, not crash, and put down a good lap. And this lap right here that you're seeing now was my best lap I've ever done in this car on this track. You can see I brake as late as I dare. You can see the fire come out of the exhaust when I lift off the gas pedal. Through that corner really well, getting those right tires to stick. They're at the sweet spot right now where they're very warm and they've worn out to a good amount, but they're right on the verge of becoming of me needing to pit for new tires. Luckily, though, the race was ending on this lap, so I didn't have to. They're back there in the distance, so if I screw up, they could still catch me. But at this point, I think they're too far back for anything to happen as long as I don't crash. Which, spoiler alert, I don't crash. Anyway, through one of my best corners here, really managing the throttle. You can see this time, instead of like 80, I'm going to 90. So the tires are really working for me now. This car is really enjoying this clean air. Clean air meaning that there's no other car's exhaust going into it, so that it can breathe better and it does better up front. Really opening it up down this straightaway. Sometimes I don't even go to fourth gear, but I did in this case. Shifting down through third, second, first, through this corner. Perfect exit. Not too wide, not too narrow. Got a good run. This corner, I think I remember being really well. Got it up on the embankment, got it rotated. Perfect braking through here. Hit the apex. Out onto the wide as you can run it there. Down the straightaway. Finish line straight in front of us. We have no pressure from behind. And we are going to cross the stripe to win Road America at our first ever Road America race. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, and comment if you'd like to see a whole NASCAR series. Have a nice day, and God bless you.